Alright, today we're going to talk about mean and outliers. We're going to start with the mean. And so when you do mean, your first thing to do is add all the numbers. So I'm going to add these up. So 13 plus 17 would be 30. 10 plus 5 would be 15. 30 plus 20 would be 50. Plus the 15 would be 65. So I get a total of 65. I use some of our math properties there. That's the commutative property. And got my answer of 65. So once you get that, then you're going to divide by how many numbers you added up. Alright, so I added 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 numbers. So I'm going to divide 65 by 5. So 5 goes into 6 once, which is 5. Subtract, I get 1, bring down the 5. 5 goes into 15 3 times. So my mean for that set of data is 13. Alright, so let's do another practice here. So I got these numbers, I'm going to find the mean. So again, first step, add them all up. Easiest thing here is 20 plus 30 is 50. Plus 25 would be 75. And I still got that 28 out there. So I got to do 28 plus 75, which is going to be 103. So I added 1, 2, 3, 4 numbers. So I'm going to divide 103 by 4. Alright, 4 will go into 10 twice, which is 8. 10 minus 8 is 2. Bring down the 3. 4 goes into 23 5 times, which is 20. Subtract, I get 3. Add a decimal and a 0. Bring the 0 down. 4 goes into 30 7 times, which is 28. Subtract, I get a 2. One more 0. Bring it down. 4 goes into 20 5 times, which is exactly 20. So my decimal ends there. Bring my decimal straight up. I get 25 and 75 hundredths as my answer for the mean. Remember, when you're dividing, you got to be able to divide and get a decimal answer. Alright, now I'm giving you a list of numbers, 18, 26, 31, and 21. And I'm telling you the mean is 25. And we got to find that fifth number, what it would be to give us a mean of 25. So first step, just like we did before, add up all these numbers. Here there's nothing really compatible, so I'm just going to start adding. 31 plus 21 would be 52. Now I got something a little more compatible. 52 plus 18 would be 70. Plus 36 would be 106. Now I know my mean is 25 and I know I have 5 numbers. So I'm going to take that 25 and multiply it by 5 to get what the total would be to give us a mean of 25. So 5 times 5 is 25, carry the 2, 5 times 2 is 10, plus 2 is 12. So I just take that 25. Alright, so I get 125, and I just noticed I made a mistake over here. When I wrote this second one here, I wrote 36 instead of 26. So we can easily fix that. Change that to a 26, change that to a 26. So change that answer, it would be 10 less, so that would be 96. So when you make a mistake, analyze what you did and go back and correct it. So I got 96 total right now. I need a total of 125, so I take those two numbers and I subtract them. So I got to borrow there, so 15 minus 6 is 9. 11 minus 9 is 2. So I get an answer of 29. And just to double check myself, I can add those all up. So add my 96 plus my 29. 9 plus 6 is 5, carry the 1. 9 plus 3 is 12. So I get 125, which is what I was trying to get to give us a mean of 25. So I checked my answer there, and showed you a good way to, when you make a mistake, look at what you did. Don't totally recreate what you did. Just look at it and see how to fix it. Alright, next we're going to talk about an outlier. And when you think of an outlier, you're thinking about a number that doesn't quite fit in with the rest of the numbers. So I got 0, 1, 2, 2, 3, and 9. So when you look at that, the number that really doesn't fit in there is the 9. Because all the other numbers are 0 to 3, and then you throw in a 9, that just doesn't quite fit. So we're going to do the mean with the outlier. And then we're going to do the mean without. And we're going to see how it changes our answer. So first thing, add them all up. 1 plus 2 is 3. 3 plus 2 is 5. 5 plus 3 is 8. 8 plus 9 is 17. So I get a total of 17. And I added 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 numbers. So we do 17 divided by 6. So 6 goes into 17 twice, which is 12. Subtract, I get 5. Add a decimal and a 0. Bring it down. 6 goes into 58 times, which is 48. Subtract, I get 2. Add one more 0. 6 goes into 23 times. And I can pretty much stop there because you'll notice I get the same remainder. So this is just going to be 3 repeating. So we'll just round that to the tenths place. So the 8 looks at the 3, tells it to stay the same. So this is about 2 8/10. And that's your about symbol there. So let's look what happens when we take out that outlier. So I'd add 1 plus 2 is 3, plus 2 is 5, plus 3 is 8. So I get a total of 8. And this time I only added 5 numbers up because I took that outlier out. So it's going to be 8 divided by 5. So 5 goes into 8 once. Subtract, I get a 3. Add a decimal and a 0. Put your decimal up. Bring the 0 down. So 5 goes into 36 times. So I get an answer of 1 6/10. So you can see, without the outlier in there, my mean is much lower than when I include that outlier. So if the outlier is bigger than the rest of the numbers, it's going to make your mean greater. If the outlier is less than your other numbers, it's going to make your mean a lot lower. So that's what an outlier is.